So anyway, like I was saying, not everyone likes superhero movies, but and yes, maybe there's a lot more than there were before at any given time. But the fact of the matter is, there's only like a handful of them that actually come out. Everyone says, "Oh, every movie's a comic movie."
That's
no,
not
it's
true.
not. There's only like a handful that are. There's like at the most like 4 or 5 that come out every year out of hundreds of movies that come out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now,
How many romantic comedies? How many action movies? How many freaking horror thrillers? You know, how many torture porn movies come out every year?
it's like, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking back in the 1950s when westerns were all huge. Were we seeing any articles at some point that just said, "Oh God, is this the death of the western?" Like, God, I'm so sick of seeing westerns. Let's see more
Were people calling
something
it
else.
left and right for websites like Newsflash? Back when they did Newsflash bulletins.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, and I mean, I honestly, I would put that out there to anyone who knows. I don't know because I haven't seen any of those.
Is this just something that you just see? Is this just a counter effect of any genre being popular? Like someone mentioned musicals too. Musicals used to be big, just like westerns. Is this just something that automatically happens, or is it just people are picking on this genre?
Yeah. People that don't like it or don't get it, just picking on the genre for that reason.
Like
I don't know.
like everyone said, comic books have always been the redheaded stepchild of media. And now that stepchild has gone on to be a successful CEO of some type, and people are going, well, how did that happen? That's not true. Go back to the basement where you belong. Is that the overall mentality?
I don't know. It's I don't know. It seems kind of I don't necessarily think it's being stuffed in anyone's face. I think that for a long time there were no comic book movies. There was a lot of ones, like some of the ones that he mentions, like Judge Dredd or The Shadow. That was during a time of a huge drought of comic book movies. There was hardly anything out there, and it's like, I mean,
The Phantom.
Or The Phantom, exactly.
And Darkman.
Or it's like, I mean, I like Darkman.
I do too.
But it's like so there's, I mean, we're only just now hitting, the comic book movie has only just now started to really hit its stride as far as just quantity. Not always quality, but that's the way with any genre. There's going to be good or bad, like we said. So, I don't know. It's just frustrating to see sometimes. Because, I'm aware that some are better than others, of course. And I don't care if there's people out there who, some are going to like it, some don't like it. Of course there are. But, it's just...
when it's plastered on Entertainment Weekly like that, when it's out in the media, when it's people like that, then you can't help but feel just a tad bit offended, Yeah,
it's like, I mean, I don't know. You don't always see an article like that coming out against
horror films,
other genres,
or action movies, or the romantic comedy.
Right.
No one's calling it for them left and right.
To the guy's credit, he acknowledges that he's not a fan. He acknowledged from the beginning that he never read them, he never grew up on them like many of us did. He also acknowledges that he's in the minority of his magazine, so he does not speak for Entertainment Weekly. He is just one voice. But they let him print the article, I guess, obviously, because he was trying to reach out to other people that felt the same way. And I guess I can kind of, as a comic book fan, I can kind of understand that, wanting to reach out to someone who gets it, because you're surrounded by people who don't.
Yeah, or don't get it,
whatever
in
the
this
case
case,
may
because
be.
you're surrounded by people who do.
So, I don't know. I just feel like, can't everyone just enjoy what they like and just be done with it?
I know.
I don't know.
It seems to be just people having a particular problem with comic book movies because they are based on comic books, and comic books we have, there seems to be a cultural, view of what people who read comic books are like. And now that, God forbid, all of these people are doing well, because these comic book movies are now doing well. It's like, it's a shift in how people see people like us, comic book, I guess they call them fanboys. That's still the term, I guess, and just people who like this stuff. They say the geek shall inherit the earth. Maybe some people still have a problem with that.
Maybe. I mean,
And yet there's the flip side of it, where lately we've also been seeing magazines and publications that had no association whatsoever with comic books or comic book movies ever in the past, now coming out with articles, as though they've been publishing this kind of stuff all along, stuff like Vogue,
Right.
And
people suddenly
Cosmopolitan.
saying as though they...
And MTV, yeah.
Yeah, MTV is one. Yeah, they have this thing called Splash Page now that chronicles, the trek from page to screen for comic books.
Exactly.
And,
which is fine, but don't act as though you've always done that. Don't act as though you've been,
Yeah. I read an article by someone on Superhero Hype who actually used to work for MTV who claimed that he tried during his time there to bring attention to comic book and sci-fi or geek projects, and all they would always tell him is, no one cares about this but you. And then he left, and then the comic book movie boom happened, and sci-fi, and then, he left, and then a few years later they started Splash Page.
Exactly.
And that's what really just hit it for him, that, they're just trying to make it look as though they're into what's now, what's hip. But you know what, they've always done that, so it doesn't really necessarily anger me or
well, it
anything.
kind of
It's
pisses
just,
me off because this I guess I have a personal stake in.
Yeah, but MTV has always done that. Whatever is popular, they always try to be that. They've done that for years now, since
Why
they
is
first
it that
came
so
out.
many people are doing it begrudgingly almost? That, it's comic books now. I guess we have to start thinking of these geeks as cool. It feels a little bit like that kind of mentality.
Yeah, it feels like they're dragging their feet
Exactly.
in some ways. Yeah.
It's begrudgingly doing it, which I don't appreciate.
Yeah. So, I don't know. So, anyway, that's continuing the rant. Anyway, yeah, it's something that we've noticed, and but I guess it's something that just comes with the territory, I suppose. So, it's I don't know if any of you guys have noticed this or feel the same way or have any particular stories, then let us know. Post it, right now. Tell us about it if there's anything in particular.
Exactly.
But yeah. And that's another, people, G4 is all about video games. I think it pretty much still is, isn't it? I haven't seen, I know they're trying to be about a lot of pop culture right now, like Attack of the Show. They've got video games and comic books and movies and TV and all sorts of stuff.
Which is fine. It's more, it's G4 started with video games. Now they're trying to branch out into other areas.
Yeah. I can't say I have too much against G4 because Attack of the Show they showcased a video of ours on there once.
They
premiered the
Uncle
Jor-El,
Ben
Uncle Ben one
yeah.
on Attack of the Show. Yeah.
So, yeah.
They contacted us shortly after our videos started getting really popular, and they featured it at the end of the show before they left. They were like, through the whole show, they were saying, "Stay tuned. We're for the premiere of this new video."
But they do a lot of YouTube stuff. They also feature the guy talking out of his belly button, so I wouldn't be, flattered out of my mind, but I was,
It was nice. It was nice to see it go on television. So
exactly.
It was, Yes, that's the finale.
For that day's show.
Yes.
I think they gave us the show on DVD. We got a little.
We got it on a DVD.
We got a little package
both,
from them.
For both time zones that they aired it on. I guess it came on twice. Let's see.
And they sent us a shirt. In the beginning, a lot of people were sending us shirts. But I find this very interesting. This is just something that, just let me say, every single time we got a shirt, either it was from Attack of the Show or New York Comic Con or any other place who, we did an interview for, the shirt's always sized extra, extra, extra large.
Yeah, they give us the biggest
possible shirt, the kind of shirt that both of us would fit in,
And I don't know if that has to do with if they assume that all geeks are huge tubs of lard, or if they think that, or if they just think, it'll shrink in the wash. They'll just wash it until the point where it gets eventually down.
No.
Because it covers all sizes, like he says there.
Yeah, but those shirts, I could take it from end to end and wrap it around myself, and it goes down to my knees, And I think you can too. We could both fit in one.
It's like a Snuggie, I don't know. It's about the size.
But every shirt we received like 5 of them. We got one from Marvel too that said, that was pimping one